Hey, it's the Rooster, Bobby Leach for the TimesWeekly.com. Plainfield South Cougars kept their playoff hopes alive last Friday night against host Romeoville by dodging a bullet in a 35-34 overtime victory. The Cougars opened the scoring when tailback Jonathan Kosarog kept a 56-yard drive with a 1-yard touchdown plunge, but Romeoville would respond. Trailing 7-0 on their homecoming night, the Spartans' Caleb Bailey ripped off a 57-yard run when he was caught from behind at the 2, preventing his first ever touchdown, but Romeoville's Miguel Ford finished off the drive moments later in a 2-yard score, making it 7-6 after a failed extra point attempt. Kosarog once again came to the Cougars' rescue, this time with a 51-yard sprint right through the teeth of the Spartan defense to extend the Cougar lead 14-6 midway through the second quarter. Once again, the Spartans found a response when quarterback Jake Bambuel double pumped and hit Mark Hammond in stride, going 64 yards and a 14-12 lead after yet another missed extra point heading into the half. South came out in the second half and on the first play from scrimmage fumbled to Hammond, who scooped and scored from 33 yards out, stunning the Cougars 20-14 when Bambuel hit Anthony Love in the back of the end zone for 2. But once again, South took the lead back 21-20 when linebacker turned running back Clifton Garrett scored from 2 yards out, but the game was far from in the bag. South's Joshua Harris scored from 12 yards away to put the Cougars up comfortably 28-20 early in the fourth quarter, but Romeoville just wouldn't go away. On their next possession, facing 4th and 1 from their own 49-yard line, Bailey broke through the A-gap for a 51-yard touchdown, followed by a Ford 7-yard run for 2, and all tied at 28, which went to overtime. In overtime, the Spartans got the ball first on their first play. Ford split the defense and scored from 10 yards out, but he was flagged for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which pushed the Spartans back for an extra point try that was blocked. South Kosarog won up Romeoville, scoring for the third time in the game from 10 yards out, knotting it at 34 apiece. South would drill the extra point for the win, getting off a huge celebration for the Cougar faithful that was in attendance and dashing the Romeoville homecoming hopes. Talk a little bit about tonight's game. I mean, first of all, junior quarterback coming in, got to fill in for the senior.
Yeah.
You know, you're on the road. You're coming off a tough loss last week, you know, against Oswego East. You guys really need this win. You got a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and come out. You're running the ball well. Did you feel that pressure at all? I mean, because it seemed like you had some time to throw, but the speed of the game, is it different than practice?
It's a lot faster, and like it's nerves. Like my first varsity game playing wide receiver, I dropped a couple balls, and it was you just got to catch up to the game. You got to slow yourself down. And then, once I started running the ball, it started coming to me a little bit, but our running backs bailed us out big time today.
Oh, you had a great attack tonight, and defensively you guys had, a great game. Talk me though through that you guys halftime you got the lead, you come out, got some fire, and all of a sudden you're standing there and they flip the ball back to you. Were you expecting that ball to come back to you? Because it's just kind of out of nowhere that ball comes at you and you're scrambling.
Yeah, it wasn't a smart decision, but stuff happens in football. I mean, you can't really do anything about it. You have to live to fight another play. Really, it's whatever. I mean, it happened, and then we're running the sideline, starting to down. No pressure on him. He sat out. He knew what he did. No pressure at all.
How badly did you guys need this win tonight?
We definitely need, because we're right back in the play. Like, to us, we're back in the playoff race. I mean, 3 games, we can go back, we can win out, go to the playoffs 6-3.
Yeah, I mean, you got Bolingbrook on your schedule, even though you lost to them, but you played them tough in that first half, but you get the playoff points.
Yeah.
So again, big contest. How do you think it's going to be this week going into practice? A little bit happier?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think you're going to feel that confidence?
Since it's homecoming, we got to focus a lot. I mean, a lot of distractions, a lot of rules. You can get suspended really easily during homecoming, so everybody's got to buckle down and be smart about what they do during the week and all that. We just have to come out smart. I mean, we took this week of practice great. Like all of our prep team players and everything, they came out, they did what they had to do, and that's what set us up for this win, I think.
All right, man. I don't know what to call you guys. I don't, smack, crackle, and pop, or I don't know what it is, but man, the two of you guys, I've been playing football and reporting on football a long time, and I don't want to run into either one of you guys on a football field. I mean, you guys were all over the place tonight defensively, and Clifton, man, you got in the end zone today. I mean, you got your groove on a little bit with a touchdown.
Yeah, it was my first touchdown ever, so
moving from linebacker to tailback. Now that's a real story we got to put on the Sports Nest. But just talk about this team's mentality right now. Defensively, you guys have played well all season. Played some great offenses. You played well all season, and but you didn't let the mistakes tonight take you guys out of the win column like they had done in some other games. What was the difference tonight?
Yeah, well, tonight we just had to execute. We knew in practice all week we've been talking about execution, doing deep prep, old prep. We still going in during old prep. So our whole mindset this week was execution. We had to come out with this win. It's a must-need win for us to make it to the playoffs. We think of every game from here on out a playoff game.
You know, I mean, defensively, though, I mean, you were killing kids out there. I mean, they really couldn't get anything going up the middle. I mean, you guys pride yourselves on that up, you know, I mean, they did get the one big play, but you were sending the house in that case, you know, and filling the gaps. You found an open gap. But, I mean, for the most part, Romeoville wasn't able to move the ball inside. They had to throw the ball.
11 has to the football, as the coach always says. We have to bring the heat. We know that quarterback was going to run outside the pocket, so we had to stop that. And we had to get our corners on the receives. I know they got penalties, but still the effort of it. And we knew we had to get this win.
You know, last week, you know, came down to the last play of the game, and he came up on the short end. This week came up to the last play of the game, came up on the winning end. I don't think I have to ask you which one is funner, you know, but which one's more motivating? I mean, that loss last week, I know, probably stuck in your craw, probably ticked off a lot of your players like, hey, we're a better football team than this. You know, tonight, big win, euphoria, but how do you get focused for your homecoming game?
I think this whole week of practice, we just got to come out. We can't focus on none of the homecoming activities, none of the decorating the halls, none of that stuff. We got to focus on straight football. We do the schoolwork during school. Once we're off the practice field, we're doing football. So we got to focus on that. We know we got a big game against Minooka at homecoming, so it's going to be a great game.
Talk about that, you know, big play. You know, you got to come up with that catch a little bit behind you there, stretched out, but didn't come up with it. I saw you hit the turf. The end of that, yeah. Was it more out of frustration? Just like, man, we could have closed the door here.
Yeah, it was all frustration. Really, I was just angry. I didn't want to lose.
Were you the secondary receiver in that when they were trying to hit the tight end? Because it looked like he was looking for the tight end down the seam.
Yeah, I was tight end right there.
Yeah, so
just threw it a little low, but I should have caught it, you know. So. But can't blame anybody. You know, it's all team.
But at the end of the day, the scoreboard doesn't matter. You still W's a W is a W.
But that's all that matters, coming out with that W.
Coach Kuhn and Romeoville, and Coach, rough season to this point. I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
it's been a struggle this year.
It's been a struggle, but tonight, kids came out. They made big plays. I got to say, Jake looked pretty good tonight. I mean, he was putting the ball. You had a couple of touchdowns that dropped
on him. He made a couple of real nice throws too. We had balls dropped, and you know that's been our Achilles heel all year is people not making plays when they had to. Now, yeah, we missed some plays, but there were also times, you know, Mark Hammond on the screen and go.
Yeah,
it wasn't an easy catch. You know, Jake threw a perfect ball. It was good coverage. Mark made a great catch and had the foot speed to outrun the defense. You know, Marky scooped and scored one in there.
Bailey tonight too.
You know, Caleb on a 4th and 1, and we had to have one there, and you know he got more than one.
He got 55
a touchdown and to give us the tie. So you know we did have people step up and make plays too. So, but unfortunately, you know, we had some key players, you know, put us in some bad situations, but you know that's all part of the growing stage. You know we only had a couple of returning starters this year. We knew that we were going to have to get maturity real fast, and you know I think we learned a lot in those first 4 games. But also when you don't have enough success, you know they hadn't been in a tight ball game like this. I was very happy with the way they responded in a tight game, and you know we were able to come back twice from being down. Unfortunately, we couldn't hold the lead. But then again, we came back and tied it up. So, you know, there's goods and bads to everything, but I think there's a whole lot more positives that we can look back on tomorrow morning than we did in the previous week. So, you know, you feel good about that. You're still a little bit disappointed because you felt you let a game get away that you could have won.
Well, hey, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the 4 teams that you played this year are pretty damn good. Pretty good football game. You know, these are good football teams.
You got 2 ranked opponents.
Right, you got 2 ranked opponents.
And Oswego should be ranked.
And Oswego should be ranked. I mean, they beat somebody up again tonight, so they're at 4-1. So I mean, you know, collectively, I mean, playing South, both teams have had relatively tough schedules to speak of, and you guys were, you know, neck and neck. And I mean, that game, I think, you know, towards the end there, what was that first call? It was an unsportsmanlike, but it was due to a celebration in the end zone because it wasn't.
Spiked the ball.
Yeah, so they, you know, but do you agree with that? I mean, that you know, at a high school level, I mean, it's a rule.
It's a rule, and you got to abide by it, and we got to be smarter than that. You know, because there's a case of not getting in the end zone all year, not knowing what to do when you got in there.
Right, yeah, right. But it was a great run. It
was a great run. It was a great run. He was excited, and he was homecoming with emotion. And you know, it was a huge touchdown late in the game to tie it up. I'd be excited too. And you know, I can't fault the kid for getting too excited, and you know, he just lost track of what was going on. You know, maybe if you'd scored a couple more touchdowns early in the year, it wouldn't have happened. But you know what? I'm happy you got it.
You know, you talked about, you know, this is a team that we haven't had the lead a lot. We haven't been in this situation a lot, but as a coach, you got to be kind of proud of the fact that you got a minute something left in the game. You come back, you tie it up, and you do what you got to do. I mean, you got to feel like
gave up.
You got to feel that that's what you come out to coach for. Yeah, those games like that, you come out to coach for. I told the kids,
I said, even though we lost, I said, this is what high school football is all about. These are the kind of games you love being in because it's a blast. Unfortunately, it sucks. It's we lost it, and it hurts a little bit right now. But man, is it a whole lot more fun.
It has to lift your spirits a little bit, from the beginning of the year.
It's more fun, honestly, as a coach. It's more fun than beating somebody 40-0.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's exciting.
So what do you got next weekend? We
got Plainfield North, and we'll sit down this weekend and we'll look at what we need to do, and put in a game plan on Monday, and get a couple guys healthy. We got both of our tackles out right now with ankle sprains, so we're hoping that I think they'll both be fine by Monday. So we'll get them back healthy, and we'll be ready to go on Friday night.
Talk about that game. Talk about what an exciting finish. I mean, what an exciting game for you guys. That was a battle. You had to come up big when you needed to come up. These kids were tested tonight, and they passed that test.
We've really had a lot of close games all season. I mean, for the most part, other than Bolingbrook, and we've come up short. And we were able to get over Joliet West, but we came up short last week, and we had some opportunities against Plainfield North, which is a very good football team. First of all, I want to give credit to Coach Kuhn and his squad. I mean, they were prepared. They played their hearts out, and they just did a fantastic job. I'm real proud of the way our kids just hung together. We had some, we had some difficulties. We put ourselves in some difficult spots. Romeoville had a lot to do with that as well. But I'm just real thrilled that our guys hung in there, and we kind of, got over a little mountain that we needed to climb, and hopefully that'll give us some momentum coming into the next weeks.
Hey, these are always momentum builders, for your team, especially at this point in the season, and getting that first conference win under your belt, and just saying, hey, everything still works. All the tires are there, the gas is there. If we do it right, everything still works.
Yeah.
And tonight, you didn't beat yourself. You almost did it at points, but you didn't beat yourself.
Right, and that's a good point. You're right. Things do work, and we do have the players that are necessary, and we have what we need to be successful. It just has to get done. And it's always a challenge. I mean, we knew that coming into the season. And games become plays, and you could pick out a play here, a play there. You could pick it out from the first half. And those are things that change the momentum of a game and change the outcome of a game. But I'm just real happy that our guys hung in there. And for you guys watching this thing, that'd be a heck of a game to watch because there wasn't a dull moment.
Okay, Monday morning quarterback, I got to ask this question. Were you thinking about going for two in that situation on your last attempt, your extra point attempt? Had you gone for two, you're up. You put the pressure on them. They got to score not once but twice. You're up 27-20, and you opted to go for just the one. You got it. Yeah. But it still was an 8-point game. But had you got two, did they cross you like,
yes.
Hey, maybe I might do this?
No, we talked about it. But we thought, you know what? The worst situation is they get to two, and then they have to tie. They have to get two, and we felt like that's a 50-50 at best. And and then the other thing was we said real quick. We said, what if we miss and they get to two? And we're down right. So yeah, we did absolutely. We did think about it, but in hindsight, everything looks great when you win. It doesn't look so good when you don't. So that's just how it goes sometimes.
Coach Clifton Garrett, big night tonight for you tonight, but everybody defensively really stepped up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it really did shut down Romeoville's running attack and forced some big plays. Romeoville came up with some big plays tonight, but for the most part, you held them in check.
Yeah, and I thought defensively we did some really good things. The thing I thought Clifton did is he brought a lot of energy early. He really set the tone. I mean, he set the tone.
He scored tonight too.
Yeah, we got on the ball a little bit. And we're just getting used to doing that. It's been a season-long process, but there's been some issues in terms of his. Sometimes he's been the health problem. He's been battling some things, and he hasn't been able to get in there enough to really get the timing and be comfortable with it. But did a nice job tonight, and hopefully that'll be something that we can rely on in the future.